You know what it is. You know who it is. It is Rich Warrior Lifestyle Podcast, and I am Trig the Rich Warrior. Woo! Let's get it. Today's topic is form over reps. The best way to get and stay fit. The perfect formula. Let's go, man. Let's not make this hard. Let's not make this hard, you know? Let's get it. Some of y'all wondering why I can't, why is this taking so long? Or why am I not, my arms not looking the way I want, my legs, my back, you know, whatever else y'all be working on out here, you're doing toe-ups. My toes ain't looking like I want them to look, my neck. You feel me? Nah, I'm playing with you. But yeah, man, I'm here to explain to you guys, you know, how to improve your workouts and see those results, you know, in a timely manner. Because it's not an overnight thing. It's a gradual process. You know, sometimes it's like planting a tree or like a bonsai tree. You know, keep nurturing it, and out of nowhere that junk just grow super tall. But the whole time it was getting those roots in the ground. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was getting ready. It was building that foundation to be able to handle that, you know, that weight and that, you know, that length or the height of it. You know what I'm saying? The width and everything. You know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, man, the first segment of this, not segment, but you know the topic that I'm going to talk about is, first of all, when you're out here working out, you're doing your thing, make sure you are stretching, doing your general stretches, but you know, when you're going to do mostly arms or mostly leg, make sure you put more emphasis when you're stretching on those leg or whatever body parts you're going to really be focusing on more, you know. So definitely stretching before and after your workout, you know, for sure. That's mandatory. That's another reason. It's something about stretching, man. Some days when I just stretch before I go for a walk, or just, you know, I try to make sure I stretch every day, you know, and I need to get back on doing it twice a day and doing my deep stretch at least once a week. But it seemed like it just unlocks some type of energy sometimes when I be stretching. Now I get a good stretch and I'm like, whoa, you ever just like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Just like, whoa, that felt good right there. Like it just released something. That's how powerful stretching is. You know, it's not to hurt, but it is to, you know, it's a little outside of your comfort. You know what I'm saying? Out of your comfort of that area of your body. It's like a little uncomfortable. I'm gonna say it's uncomfortable, it's just outside of your comfort. You know, just outside of it. Don't supposed to hurt though. So don't overdo it, which I've done before, and then you kind of like, you know what I mean? You causing injuries on yourself. You ain't even start working out yet. The next thing I want to talk about is warm-up exercises. Again, you definitely want to do warm-ups and cool downs. A warm-up is like a lower intensity, some low level intensity workouts. It could be running in place, jumping jacks. It could be push-ups. Whatever you're doing, just make sure you're doing it to go through the motions of it. You're getting your arm, you're getting your body ready for what you're about to do. And again, you can, if you're gonna do specific body parts for your main workout, you want to put more emphasis on that body part. But also when you're doing your warm-ups, you want to do some type of cardio, like running in place, high knees, you know, maybe mountain climbers, whatever you want. You feel like doing burpees is pretty good, but just take your time. Same thing with the cool down. You want to do some type of cool down. It don't have to be like the warm up, but something that's gonna cool you down. You don't want to go from super high intensity, sweating all hard, breathing all hard, to just stop and and just stopping. That usually makes you more tired. It's like you just immediately stop. The contrast is, have you breathing a little harder, and you see, what I mean? It's just like, it's just not the right thing to do. You'll feel it. Once you're doing it, you're doing certain workouts, and you're working out hard, you will feel the difference between something that's high intensity or just sweating and moving your body to just absolutely doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, definitely the warm-ups and the cool downs. Next on the list, and this is the main part. The main part is find and do the basic exercises first. Not even just first, but if you're starting out, you're a beginner at this, stick with the basics. Even if you are somebody that, works out a lot, you always want to incorporate them basics in there, those moves. And the reason why I call them basics is because a lot of them are like full body. They work more than just that particular area. It might be more emphasis on the arms, but it's still kind of full body. It puts you in a position to where you're working out your entire body, and that's where you get those real gains from my experience. Like basics like push-ups, jumping jacks, sit-ups, high knees, burpees. What else? The basics. What else do I do for the basics? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Jump rope, basics. Crunches, basics. And the reason why I named this form over reps, because how I was taught and how I, got my results in the way that I did, which was, faster than most people and in less time. Because when you focus on doing the form properly as it's intended, to the point where you are working other areas of your body, even though that's not the main area, that's kind of how you know you're doing the form right. If you're doing push-ups, you still should feel it in your stomach, in your quads, things like that, not just your biceps, your back and things like that. You're supposed to feel it in other areas by doing the form right and not just trying to rush and do the reps. Well, I gotta do 10. That really doesn't matter. You can count, but make sure you're doing the form right. The form is key. And me, as I work out, I'm always keeping my stomach flat. I'm keeping my stomach flat as if I'm bracing for something. Whatever workout I'm doing, as long as I can. If I need to take a break, then I take a break from doing that while doing the exercise. But I try to keep my stomach as flat as possible, not sucking it in, but just bracing it, like training my stomach to be flat. That's a key thing. And when you're doing push-ups and you're doing that, and you are keeping your stomach flat, that helps every area that you're working on while doing that push-up. Keeping that stomach flat will help you gain more muscles in your arms, your stomach, your legs, your back, your body, you know what I'm saying? So definitely, man, the form over the reps. Same thing with something as simple as jumping jacks. Do the form properly. Don't be hunched over. Don't be leaning back. Do the form properly, Do the form properly. And I'm gonna touch on that later about the breathing, but form over reps, man. That's how you really get those gains. And then once you get the form correct, then you can speed it up. Then you can start speeding it up because you trained yourself to do it right, and instead of trying to focus on the reps and doing it improperly because you focus on the wrong thing. But once you perfect the form of it to where it's comfortable, as far as it's safe, you're doing it safely, and it's comfortable, you can speed it up. Next is outside of your comfort zone. Definitely another key, while you're doing the form correctly and things like that perfectly, you want to get outside of your comfort zone. You don't want to be like, oh, this is nothing, I'm just, no, you want to be just outside of your comfort zone. And you can push it more. I like to push it more. and that's just me, but definitely get outside your comfort zone so that you're just not comfortable. Like you sweating, you're breathing harder than you want to, than you would like to. Like your muscles are sore while you're doing it. You're pushing through that, but not on an extreme level to where you're gonna hurt yourself, but you're pushing through, and you're challenging yourself. Like you get into a new level of physical exertion, and your breathing is you're breathing harder. You're pushing yourself, your endurance, your muscle endurance. You're pushing through. You definitely want to get outside your comfort zone. That is another key to doing these while you're exercising, for sure. Next is I talked about the cool down, but the breathing. One thing I learned, and this will help you with everything else, is your breathing. Learn how to breathe. Know when to inhale and know when to exhale. On a push-up, when you're going down, you inhale. When you're coming up, you exhale. And once you start to get tired, you might not be able to do that every time, but you know that, okay, let me get back on track. Let me just, stand in a plank position, catch my breath, and let me get back to breathing properly, syncing my breath with my moves, with jumping jacks. When the arms go in, inhale. When they come out, exhale. You'll feel it. You'll feel when you're doing it the right way, and you'll feel it when you're doing it the wrong way. So, and I'm not gonna say it's a perfect way, but certain, I ain't gonna say it's up to that person either, but hey, you will definitely feel it. You will feel it. Some people, they just want to go against the grain and just be doing whatever, but if that works, cool, but sync your breath with the moves. That'll definitely help you go longer, especially with running. Whatever you just running in place, or you're running outside, sync your breath with your exercise, so definitely. You gotta breathe, you feel me? And next on the list is push for failure. Push for failure. It's kind of like saying outside of your comfort zone, but it's different because you want to normally push outside of your comfort zone. And on certain exercises or certain, exercise moments, like you're exercising for maybe 10, 15, whatever you're doing, that day you might just want to, or that part of the day you might just want to push it, and that's what's going to help you to really gain those muscles if you're looking for that, or to burn that fat, or to mentally understand that you are in control no matter what. Like you're breathing hard there, this is tough, but I'm still in control. It's not an ego thing. I can stop, but I'm pushing through. I'm pushing for failure. I'm pushing so that I have to take a break, or that I have to modify. Meaning, okay, if I'm running in place and doing high knees and I get super tired, maybe I stop and I just walk and lift my legs up. That's modification. You're modifying. So you want to push for failure, on certain. I like to do it every time I work out. Well, almost. I don't do it every time, but almost every time I work out, I'm pushing for failure. Whether I'm doing it the whole workout or I'm doing it on specific areas, specific work exercises, that I feel like I want to flatten my stomach a little more. I want to, get them gains on my arms. I'm pushing for failure on those, because that's where it comes to when you like, damn, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do another one. Try it anyways, and then if you can't, perfect. That's what you want. So you force yourself to have to take a break, Yeah, man, it's not gonna be long, but definitely form over reps, which is being safe, which is being comfortable starting off, understanding the significance of forms over rep is where you get really strengthen your body, where you really get those muscular gains, you burning that fat, and you're mentally knowing that I'm doing something good for myself, and there's no need to be mad, discouraged, or anything, because we push for failure. We push so that we have to take breaks. or we have to modify. It's okay to do that, and you're going in the right direction. In my experience, I got my I reached my goals faster and in a more enjoyable way, because I was more proud of myself for, looking at something that was kind of, knew it would be challenging, it was tough, and I pushed through anyway. That feeling right there is like, man, I did that. That was tough, like, but I still did it. I did it, or I tried to do it, which is just as good. I tried it. I kept going, but I had to take a break. I had to modify. So yeah, man, form over reps. Keep that in mind when you out there. I promise you will see them gains, faster and more prevalent. Like, you will really see more definition in your abs, your arms, your legs when you do that, and go slower on some of these reps, take your time on them as well. That's another thing. Take your time, like go, when I'm doing push-ups, I go down slow sometimes, unless I'm just doing like fast push-ups, but I go down kind of slow and I push up fast because I want that resistance. I want to build muscles going up and down. I don't want to just either be jerking my body around or just using momentum. No, I want everything to be dealing with me strengthening my body, or that particular part of my body. So yeah, man, it's Trigger Rich Warrior dropping gems, man. The perfect formula. Don't tell nobody, it's the secret formula. I'm telling you, right in front of your face. You just see people in the gym just throwing up weights in, just doing all this stuff off momentum, and they got supplements, and they, they just using energy boosters and all this other stuff. Like, nah, man. We pushing outside our comfort zone. We pushing for failure. We want to take breaks. We want to have to take breaks. We want to have to modify. That's the thing, baby. And you heard it here from the Rich Warrior, man. This Rich Warrior Lifestyle Podcast, man. I love y'all. Love yourself. Let's get it.